Very good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible and the screen is visible. Can you please confirm? ठीक है ना? चलिए, great. Sure. Without any delay, let's start the session. So today we'll be primarily focusing on how to handle questions which is purely based on maxima minima. So there are kind of question within Venn diagram which has asked in uh, CAT and non-CAT exams also. But what happens is that once the CAT has asked a particular kind of question, they do not repeat it again. But yes, since then it has become very popular, and we should be knowing it because non-CAT exams may be आएंगे, mocks may be आएंगे. So obviously you should be in a position to handle that, right? The good thing about this method, which I'm going to discuss, is that you don't require pure mathematics to do it. Simultaneously, you have to apply common sense as well, right? Common sense of Venn diagram you have to apply, and you have to take the help of mathematics, taking the extreme conditions or the cases or the boundary conditions to arrive at the answers. Okay. So it may happen that after the session, some of you might feel like that you're not getting the things entirely. So don't worry about it, because the method which I'm discussing, which I'll be discussing today, do require some thinking of your own. So once you start thinking the way I'm doing it and you start analyzing it, I'm sure that you will also pick the way I'm solving, right? And the method I've taught to many students, of course, and I've realized that almost most of them who have just got the idea that how this simple equation work, they end up solving very complex questions easily. Within one line they can solve the complex questions also. ठीक है? So कुछ prerequisite है, उसको देख लेते हैं. What actually we'll be doing. So let us do a small drill about it, right? So if I say that a and b, these are two positive integers. They are positive integers, right? And if I say that a plus b is equal to 10, right? And if I ask you a question that what could be the maximum value of a, what would be the answer? What is the maximum value of a? It has to be 9, right? Because as I said that both have to be a positive integer. To maximize a, I have to minimize b. Why so? Because their sum is constant, correct? Looking at the condition, the minimum value which I can give to b is 1. I would wish to give it more than less than 1 also, but because of this constraint, I can't do so. Thereby, I have to give it 1, and I'm left with the maximum value of it. Fair enough, right? Okay. If a plus b plus c and all are again positive integer, and this is equal to 20, and I want to maximize c, what would be the possible value, or what is the value of c for which it is maximum? 18. Again the same logic. To maximize this, we have to minimize all other variable. ठीक है ना? Common sense की बात है. We have to minimize all other variable. And from the condition, the only way wherein I can minimize is giving them 1 each, so that the value of c becomes 18, and that is the maximum value of c, and that would be the maximum value of b and maximum value of a as well in different scenarios. Okay. Okay. Now if I start putting more conditions, for example, if I make that b has to be greater than c, this is another condition apart from all other previous condition, and we have a plus b plus c is equal to 20, and now I ask you that what is the maximum value of c? Now can you get me the maximum value? I've just inserted one more condition. 9. Okay. Yes, I think 9 is the right answer, because I have to maximize this, so we have to minimize these two. But because of this relation, can I say the value of b has to be greater than c? Right? If I ignore this condition, then my answer would be, or my distribution of this number 20 would be 1, 1, 18. But if I just look at this condition, I want to again ensure that this condition should also match. Then the only way wherein I can do so is that I'll keep the value of a is equal to 1, and I have to ensure that their sum is 19. So to ensure that b is greater than c, this combination gives me the maximum value of C. There could be many other combinations like this also will be a acceptable combination. But since we have to maximize C, we are keeping the value of B and C very close to each other. Yes or no? Can I say this is the logic which I am applying here to get the maximum value of C? ठीक है ना, बात समझ में आ रही है ये? करेक्ट. चलिए तो एक और क्वेश्चन लेते हैं ऐसी. नाउ सपोज A, B and C they are non-negative integers. They are non-negative integers. Now we have A plus B plus C is equal to 100. या बड़ा नंबर हो जाएगा, पर छोटा ले रहा हूं, ठीक है. Say this is equal to 20 again. The condition is that A is greater than equal to B, B is greater than equal to C. This is the condition given, right? Now we have to get the maximum value of C. Can you do? नहीं 19 नहीं होगा. See, if I want to maximize C without this condition, obviously the possibility is this. Yes or no? But is this solution following this condition? Of course not. So now my next thing should be that I should bring or take such possibility wherein the maximum value of C is also maximum. At the same time, this is also valid. Okay. So what I should be doing is that let me divide. This is for sure that A cannot be less than B, B cannot be less than C. This is how I can interpret this, right? They can be equal, but they cannot be less than C. Can I say to ensure that C should be maximum, A is equal to B is equal to C is the best possibility? A is equal to B is equal to C is the best way wherein I can get the value of C to be the maximum. Yes or no? Otherwise, both A and B would be greater than C, no? The sum is constant. The sum is 20 only. So if they are equal, then I can say that this value would be maximum. But unfortunately, this number is not divisible by 3. Had it been 21, I would have done 777, but that is not possible. So what I can do, I have to take such value. ऐसा भी तो ले सकते हैं ना, 7, 7 and 6. उसमें C की वैल्यू मैक्सिमम हो जाएगी. देखो C की वैल्यू 5 भी आएगी. But we have to maximize. Prashant, are you getting it? We have to focus on maximizing C. In that case, if they are equal, that is also acceptable, na? I hope you all are getting it. Okay. So many times what happens is that for doing this thing, there is no mathematical formula wherein we can put into. We have to apply it and trial. But yes, that process is a systematic process. Okay. Kya process tha? I just wanted that all three should be equal. In that scenario, C would be the maximum. Correct? Now this is not divisible by 3 because everything should be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Had it been 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, that should have been 777. Now I'm adjusting to make it 20. I cannot make it 6. I cannot make it 6. Otherwise, this will get disturbed. So the only way I can do is I can reduce 7 to make it 6, and that will be equal to C. And this is the case wherein C is maximum. I hope I'm clear in this. Everyone, सब कोई कर सकते हैं ऐसा, ठीक है ना? Because this method or this approach is will be needed. ठीक है, जो मेथड आपको अभी करूंगा. ठीक है, चलो एक एग्जांपल और लेते हैं so that just to ensure कि हम लोग सब क्लियर हैं. A plus B plus C, say this is equal to 12. A is greater than B, B is greater than equal to C, right? We have to find the minimum value of A. We have to find the minimum value of A. हाँ नॉन नेगेटिव है. ABC is non negative. मिनिमम निकालना है ना. Now how do we process this? Suppose I want to find the minimum value of it. I should ideally want that it should be 0 because इससे तो negative, इससे तो और नीचे नहीं हो सकता कोई. But because of this constraint, this is not possible, right? So what I can do is that let me make everything equal so that A is not attracting more pi from 6 from this 12. Okay. So if I do this, can I say this is okay? But this portion is not okay. This portion is not okay. Getting it? Right? I cannot reduce A further. Otherwise, it will not be greater than B. So what I can do is that I have to just adjust 5, 4, and 3. This will ensure that the given condition is also matched. And this is the constraint wherein the value of A is minimum. ठीक है ना? 5, 4, 4 नहीं होगा भाई, 12 नहीं होगा ना टोटल. You have to ensure कि टोटल भी 12 होना चाहिए. ठीक है निशु? आ रही बात समझ में? So what I'm trying to explain here is that I cannot create a formula to arrive this answer just by putting the values. I have to start from somewhere and slowly I have to make the adjustment so that this condition get fulfilled. So that proper adjustment portion will give me the answer. ठीक, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. अब आते हैं अपन Venn diagram set theory maximum. So let us take two variable वाला case. ठीक है? Let us take a two variable case. That is, suppose this is a number of students who like physics and this is a number of students who like, say, chemistry. These are the only two subjects, right? And there are total 100 students, right? Among them, 70 like physics, 60 like chemistry, right? अब मैथ्स नहीं लगाना, ठीक है? Just tell me one thing. If I tell you that I want to find the minimum value of union of P and C, union of P and C, क्या हो सकता है? Okay, 70. Any other answer? इसको भी निकालो. What could be the max value of union of P and C? नहीं, 130 नहीं होगा. The right answer is 70 for this and 100 for this. See, how many students are there? 100, na? So if the batch size itself is 100, it cannot exceed 100. So maximum what? The union can be 100, right? But if I want the minimum, because this is more interesting, if I want the minimum number of people at the same time, this should be the criteria. Then what I can do is that I can consider only 70 people who like physics, and within these 70 people, 60 like chemistry also, but there is no person who like only chemistry. By this will become 10. So can I say union of this will become 70 only? And the number of people liking chemistry is also 60. So all the condition gets matched. Getting the idea? Okay. That means if I want to figure out the union, acha, there is one more thing which I just forgot to mention, that this is the case which we are solving wherein union is not fixed. When I say not fixed, in the sense, when I said that there are 100 students, I didn't say that all these 100 students must like at least these two subjects or at least one of these two subjects. Otherwise, the union would have fixed na 100 ही होते फिर total union. मैंने बस बोला 100 students, out of these 100, 70 like physics and 60 like chemistry. Now we are trying to figure out that what could be the combination wherein the minimum value क्या हो सकता है, maximum value क्या हो सकता है. Of course, the maximum value would be the entire universe of this 100 students, and the minimum value would be at least 70 people. Now, some of you might worry that why we are taking 70, why can't it be 60? So, इसका आंसर मैं common sense से दूंगा. I don't have to apply mathematics. if there are 70 people who like physics, that means there should be 70 individual people or not? Yes or no? Am I clear, everyone? उतने तो मिनिमम होने ही चाहिए ना. Out of those 70, 60 also like chemistry. Thereby, I can fix this case and no condition get mismatched. But if I do other way around, that there are only 60 people who like physics or chemistry, then people who like physics are 70. This is a pure mismatch, na? This is a pure mismatch. So can I say for this a common sense will work more than इसको मैं एक rule बना दूं. बहुत सिंपल सी बात है ना. The maximum among these two could be the minimum value of the union, and the maximum value of the union has to be the entire universe. बोलो भाई, क्लियर है ये? ठीक है. तो मिनिमम के लिए ऐसा हो गया. मैक्सिमम 100 होगा तो कैसे बनेगा? We'll assume it to be x, so this will be what? 70 minus x, and this will be 60 minus x. This is physics and chemistry. The union has to be equal to 100 to become its maximum. So if I add them, can I say these x will get cancelled? It will be 70 plus 60 minus of x is equal to 100. Thereby, we'll be getting the value of x to be 30. तो ये कितना हो जाएगा? 40 और ये हो जाएगा 30. ठीक है ना? Right? Now, within this, if you observe, had I asked you a question that what could be the minimum people who like both physics and chemistry, then what would have been the answer? What would have been the answer? It has to be 30, right? Because it cannot be less than that. Yes or no? But how do we proceed? We proceed assuming it to be 0. Let us assume it to be 0. Because minimum is the least. The least it can be what? 0. In set theory, as I said, that if there are number of people, then definitely it cannot be fraction. Neither it can be negative, but it can be 0. If it is 0, then this physics wala will become 70 and this chemistry will become 60. But in this case, the union become 130, which is not acceptable. So this condition is getting violated, right? So what I have to do is that I have to ensure that some people like both so that the number of head count should become lesser. So the moment I increase it from 0 to 1, this will become what? 69 and this will become what? 59. Now tell me in this case, what would be the union? What would be the union? It is 129. So in this it was 130. So here we have observed that the moment I increase the intersection by 1, the union decreases by 1. Now I have to bring this 30 to 100. So obviously I have to reduce 30. So thereby I have to bring 30 here, right? So that this become 40 and this become 30. Thereby the union become 100 and all other conditions get matched. This is the minimum I have to keep here so that this condition is also valid. Okay? So the minimum for both physics and chemistry would be what? 30. And of course, if I ask you about the maximum, then what? Maximum value wherein both like physics and chemistry. अरे कैसे 100 हो जाएगा? 70 लोग तो सिर्फ physics, 70 लोग physics like करते हैं. So how come 100 people like both physics and chemistry? This value cannot be more than the values here, na? Right? Yes, it has to be 60. I have an option of 70 and 60. I want to bring more and more people inside this. I can't bring the entire 70 here because the entire circle, this chemistry circle is 60. So part of it cannot be 70. But can I do this? Yes, I can do. आप देखो ये तो पहले बना चुके थे. So if you observe, if we are finding this, then automatically we are finding maximum value. If we are finding this, then automatically we are finding the maximum value of PNC. Sorry, ulta ho gaya, ulta kar diya. If you are finding the minimum value, then automatically we are finding the maximum value of P and C. And if you are finding the minimum value of P union B, then we are automatically finding the maximum value of P union C. Then we are finding the minimum value of both P and C. Correct? That means if this increases, the union decreases. And it is obvious now, if there is more overlapping, the number of head counts will go down, and if there is less overlapping, the number of head counts will go up. ठीक है, तो इतना सब मैथ से बताया, लेकिन कॉमन सेंस क्या बोल रहा है, that the more the overlapping, the less the number of head counts. So if I want to find less number of head counts, I should increase this. What could be the maximum value out of these two? The minimum among these two should go there, because it cannot be 70, otherwise this entire circle will be exceeding 60. So maximum what my limit says is I can keep it 60. Thereby I'll be maximizing it. In this process, I'll be minimizing the union. I hope I'm clear, everyone. सबको समझ में आ रहा है ये? ठीक, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. आज एकदम जस्ट थ्योरी जैसी चीज होगी, एग्जैक्ट थ्योरी नहीं है, बट इट्स मोर अबाउट द मेथड, है ना. इसको 3 वेरिएबल में भी करके देखते हैं, ठीक है. सपोज देयर आर सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, नंबर नहीं ले रहे, आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन अ कंसेप्ट. The 3 subjects are physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Let me name these areas. This is A, B, C, this is D, this is E, this is F, and this is G. Now I am devising certain technique, and that is I'll be calling this Roman number 1, which signifies the number of students who like at least one subject, right? This Roman number 2 will signify the number of people who like at least 2 subjects, and this is at least 3 subjects. Now in this case, this at least automatically become what? All 3 subjects. Come se kam 3 subjects means what? The maximum people can like is what? Physics, chemistry, and mathematics, or we can say that all 3 subjects. ठीक है. Now tell me, in terms of A, B, C, D, etc., what should be the value of 1? क्या होना चाहिए? It is the sum of entire thing, A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. बोलो भाई, इसमें किसी को डाउट तो नहीं है? Everyone agrees? ठीक. What about this? Roman number 2, at least 2. At least 2 in the sense I have to take these 3, which are exactly 2, as well as all 3. So it should be D plus E plus F plus G, right? And this simply means G. ठीक है. Now if I add them, I'll be getting an equation. अच्छा अभी रुक जाओ, थोड़ी देर में करता हूँ. Just tell me, for any Venn diagram question, whatever the situation is, looking at these 3 things, if these things are defined like this, can I say 1 would always be greater than or equal to 2? ठीक है ना, कंसेप्चुअली समझो. भी एटलीस्ट 2 में तो 2 and 3 वाले है ना. एटलीस्ट 1 में कौन है? 1 है, 2 and 3 है. तो 2 and 3 are already included in at least 1, right? In what scenario this will be equal? When I'm saying this is greater than equal to 2, that means I'm also considering that they will be equal, right? In what scenario they will be equal? यहां से देखो कब इक्वल होंगे दोनों. It will be equal when A, B and C all will be equal to 0. हाँ, एक ही बात है, A plus B plus C 0 भी होंगे, तो anyway नॉन नेगेटिव होंगे. So the only solution is all 3 should be 0. That means this is a case wherein what will happen? The Venn diagram will look like this, that there will be no student who will be liking exactly 1 subject. In that case only, at least 1 will be equal to at least 2. Agree? So it's a limiting case. In all cases, at least 1 should be greater than at least 2. Yes, every student like 2 or more subjects only. No one is liking exactly 1 subject. ठीक है? From the same logic, if I look at these 2, can I say this should always be greater than equal to this? Agree, everyone? ठीक है? Again, the limiting case is that this would be equal to 3 is a case wherein each one of this should be equal to 0. That means ये केस कैसा बनेगा? इट शुड बी लाइक दिस, यहाँ पर हो, बाकी all other thing is 0. That means there is no one who like exactly 2 subject. Thereby at least 2 will become equal to what? Exactly 2. ठीक है? So if I combine these things and if I add them, अब मैं add करता हूँ. If I add them, then what do I get? If I add them, then what do I get? Can I say I'm getting A plus B plus C plus D plus, sorry, C के बाद 2 times of D plus E plus F plus 3 times of G. This would be the summation of 1 plus 2 plus 3. Yes or no? इन्हीं को देखो, ये 2 बार ऐड हो रहे हैं and G is getting added thrice. Correct? Now tell me, if I take P, which is nothing but sum of these 4. If I take C, which is nothing but sum of these 4. If I take M, it is nothing but sum of these 4. So what is P plus C plus M? Compare if this is equal to this or not. P means everything which comes inside the circle of P. C means everything comes inside the circle of C. Similarly for M also. So can I say this equation is nothing but the number of people who like physics plus the number of people who like chemistry plus the number of people who like mathematics. So this is an equation which will be getting it, right? And this condition will always or need to be followed always. This is the condition. ठीक है ना? बस इतना ही करना होता है. ये तो बाकी आपको समझाने के लिए कर रहा हूं, so that you get convinced that how we are arriving at the equation. ठीक है भाई, अभी तक किसी को कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? Shall I move ahead? Everyone?
Sir,
Sir,
I need some clarification about that 1 greater than or is equal to 2, 2 greater than or is equal to 3 in that part.
Okay, so what clarification do you need? Are you understanding this or not? When I say at least 1, if you try to find at least 1, can I say this is the summation which you will be getting mathematically? Always? Can you please respond?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what is at least 2 this? It's quite natural, no? This much
Yes,
is anyway at least 2. So 1 is something plus at least 2.
Yes, sir.
So obviously 1 has to be greater than or equal to at least 2. When it will become equal to? When this portion will become 0. अगर ये 0 हो जाएगा तो इसके बराबर हो जाएगा. The same logic we are extending for at least 2 and at least 3.
Yes, sir. I understood.
है ना?
Yes, sir. I got it.
So this is what we use. अब एक क्वेश्चन लेते हैं. I'm just taking a random question. Suppose there are 100 students. And please remember that we are solving a case wherein the union is not fixed. Okay, the union is not fixed, right? If there are 100 students and there are 60 people like physics, 50 people like chemistry, and 55 people like mathematics, this is the only information. No other information is. Out of 100, 60 like physics, 50 like chemistry, and 55 like mathematics. This is the only condition, right? Now the question says that we have to find the maximum number of people who like all 3 subjects. क्या आंसर होगा? It has to be 50 without any doubt. Yes or no? It has to be 50. Why so? Because if I make 3 circles, this is physics, chemistry, and mathematics. This physics is 60, this is 50, and this is 55. I want to maximize this. Can I take 60? No. Otherwise, this circle is not, the condition will get violated that the entire circle cannot be 50 and the part cannot be more than the whole, right? Same with 55. So obviously, I can take entire 50 here and keep everything 0 here. I have to insert 60 here and I have to insert 55 here. So I can keep 5 here, keep it 0 here, keep it 10. In this case, I can ensure that the maximum number of people who like all subjects, all 3 subjects is 50. Agree everyone, right? And that was our observation also, that the maximum value of all three is the minimum among these three, because that is the number which we can make it common. ठीक है भाई, clear है ये, right? Similarly, if I want to find the minimum number of people who like at least one subject, क्या आएगा आंसर? At least one minimum number of people. नहीं भाई, मिनिमम पूछ रहे हैं ना. At least one subject. At least one. At least one means what? The union. We are trying to find the minimum of the union. So minimum of the union has to be what? The maximum among these three, which is 60. आपको union वो करना है ना. You have to add all these 7 places and have to minimize it. This is 60. This is 50. This is 55. Right? I want to keep everything which is outside the circle of 60 to be 0. यहाँ पे 50 कर लेता हूँ, यहाँ पे 5 कर लेता हूँ, ये 0 और ये 5. देखो हो गया ना. Have I made the union equal to 60 now? Yes or no? Right? What is the answer? 100 would be the answer for the question, wherein if I ask that what is the maximum value of the at least one, because then it becomes equal to the number of student under the consideration, right? Now let us take one more question. What is the minimum value of student who like all three subjects? All three subjects. Can we make it 0? Can we make it 0? We should try. That's our approach. Whenever you are asked about the minimum of something, specifically about the intersection portion, we should try to make it 0. Let me try it. This is 60, this is 50, this is 55. Let me make it 0. One thing is sure that I cannot exceed the at least 1 to be 100. इसको और exceed नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है? So I need some values here, etc. ऐसा कुछ करना पड़ेगा अपने को. ठीक है? I can go by hit and trial way just to prove whether the value is minimum or not, or I can take help of the equation which we just formed. Can I say, if I want to find the equation that at least 1 plus at least 2 plus at least 3 would be the sum of these three values? Yes or no? ठीक है ना? कितना आएगा? 165. ठीक है. Now we want to minimize this. So can I say we have to maximize these, ensuring that this condition should be valid. What could be the maximum value of 1? Can I say it is 100? And I can always take this to be equal to 65 and this to be 0. Can I say this kind of distribution can be done? We can do such kind of distribution. ठीक है ना? So 0 is possible and that would be my answer. ठीक है? Just wait for some time. I'll convince all of you that why 0 is the answer. ठीक है? अब आप बोलोगे सर कैसे होगा, यहाँ पे कैसे फिट होंगे? कुछ फिट करके देखो. There are many ways wherein this can happen. We are just trying some of the ways. We are just trying some of the ways, right? So the difference here is 35. ठीक है? So I'm just taking some random numbers, guys, right? 15, 10, and say 10, something like this. ठीक? This is 0. The sum of these circles should become 50. So I'm just taking 20, 20 here. Is it possible? ठीक है? And this to be say 15. Possible है क्या? नहीं हो रहा है ना, कुछ एडजस्टमेंट करने पड़ेंगे अल्टीमेटली, यू हैव टू मेक सर्टेन एडजस्टमेंट। ट्वेंटी फाइव लिया जाए क्या, 25, 45, अच्छा यहाँ पे 25 लेना चाहिए था, आप बोल रहे हो, ओके ठीक है। अभी अब हो रहा है क्या, फिट हो रहा है, सारे चेक कर लो, ऑल दी कंडीशंस। दिस इज वन वे है ना, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट दिस इज द ओनली वे, बट दिस इज वन वे. How I have arrived, this is just a hit and trial way of getting it, because what I am trying to do is that I am trying to fit 65 in these three area, and in these three area I have to fit 100 minus 65, which is 35. ठीक है, तो मैंने ऐसे randomly ले लिया. I tried more value for the circle which has higher number. So some hit and trial I can do this, and now I am convinced that the number of students or the minimum number of students who like all three subjects can be 0. Agree everyone? From this example, सबको समझ में आ रहा है ये, right? But from this equation we can immediately get the value na 0 without actually bothering about this. You don't have to do this every time, but yes, if you do after solving it, you'll basically enhance your this understanding. ठीक है, तो ये मेथड बहुत ही सिंपल है, बेसिकली just make the equation, ensure that this condition is valid, and some common sense wise, for example, the maximum value of this cannot exceed the minimum among this, the minimum value of this cannot exceed the maximum among this, and this condition has to be followed always. And if you are ensuring all these three things, then definitely whatever answer you are getting would be answer for the question 99.9999 times. अब कोई बहुत एक्सेप्शनल वाली कोई चीज होगी तो आई डोंट नो, ठीक है, बट whenever I have solved, I have got the right answer using this method. ठीक है, because we are just ensuring the conditions. ठीक है भाई, क्लियर है, चलो. Now what if the question says wherein the union is fixed? Can we apply the same method? Yes, बहुत simply apply कर सकते हैं. Let us take the same example. Physics is 60, chemistry is 55, mathematics is 50. The total number of students is 100, and it also say that all 100 people like at least one of these subjects. This is the additional condition, right? Now we have to find the answer for, we have to find the maximum value of all three, right? We have to find the minimum value of number of students who like all three. Now how to proceed? Very simple. These three circles, this is 60, this is 55, this is 50, correct? And the union is 100. If I take 1 plus 2 plus 3, what would be the value? 1 plus 2 plus 3, कितना आएगा? It would be the sum of these three, right? Again, it is 165. Good. We also know that from the observation, the maximum value of this cannot exceed 50. ये अपन दिमाग में रखें, right? Now, can I say this condition is actually saying us that at least one, the value is 100? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? बोल रहा ना, यही बात कर रहा है ये, right? So can I say if I substitute 100 here, then at least 2 plus at least 3 is the only variable left, and that should be equal to 65. So my equation reduces to this. Can you please confirm the new equation? Now let us find the minimum value first. If I want to minimize this, I have to maximize this, ensuring that at least 1 should always be greater than equal to at least 2. This should always be greater than equal to at least 3. ठीक है ना? Correct है? So this can easily be done like this. Such distribution can easily be done. ठीक है, इसके पहले वाले एग्जांपल में देखो, शायद वही हुआ था मेरे ख्याल से. If I take this example, this is 0. If I add this entire thing, this is 60. Plus 10 is 70. Plus 20 is 90. Plus 10 is 100. ये वाला तो फिट बैठ रहा है ना यहाँ पे, ठीक है, ये फिट बैठ रहा है, ये 60 है, दिस इज 55, दिस इज 50, ठीक। क्या था वो शायद, एक मिनट, 15 10 25 था ना, 15 10, या उल्टा कर दिया मैंने, एक नंबर को उल्टा कर दिया। चलो मैं इसी को देख लेता हूँ, इसी को देख लेते हैं, ठीक है, ये अपन बनाया था ना अभी। बोलो भाई, are we convinced that the minimum value of people who like all three in this case would be equal to 0, and that is my answer? ठीक है, अब आते हैं पहले केस में, we have to find the maximum value. Again, everything will remain same. My equation will reduce to this, which is equal to 65. In this case, I have to maximize this, and I have to obviously minimize this. The maximum value which I can take for 3 is what? 50. Can I make such distribution? Can I make such distribution? Of course not. Why? Because I'm not respecting this condition. अब इस condition को भी respect करना है, correct? So better way is what? This has to be greater than or equal to this. So we have to take values which are close to each other, and also ensuring this condition. So can I see the possibility is 33 and 32? ये तो immediately निकाल लेंगे हम लोग फिर. That means all three, the maximum value in this case would be 32, and that is the answer. So immediately you will be getting the answer. कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ कंडीशन को मैच. ठीक है, अब बोलोगे कि सर होगा क्या, चेक करके देख लेते हैं, एक बार इंश्योर करके देखते हैं सब पॉसिबल है क्या. दिस इज 32, दिस इज नथिंग बट सम ऑफ ऑल दीज 4 ना, ये दोनों को 0 कर देता हूं, दिस इज 60 ना, दिस इज से 55 एंड दिस इज 50. So let me assume this to be 1. Can we get the independent values of all three? Because for each of the circle out of 4, 3 values are already known. कितना आएगा ये? 27. ओके, ये 22, और ये 18, नहीं 17, 18. अच्छा ठीक है, एक बार देखो यूनियन 100 हो रहा है कि नहीं. हो रहा है ना, ठीक है. तो ये आपको बस इंश्योर करने के लिए बता रहा हूँ कि यहाँ से जो आंसर निकाला है ना 32, ये सही आया. बोलो भाई, सबको क्लियर है ना, ये किसी को कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं हो रही है इसमें? ठीक है, चल तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, चलो क्वेश्चन देता हूँ. Any exception to this equation method? नहीं यार, I haven't got any. If you find any question wherein ये method fit नहीं हो रहा है, तो do let me know. ठीक है, बट मुझे मिला तो नहीं. एक एक बार किसी क्वेश्चन दिया था किसी ने, बट वो मुझे लग रहा था शायद क्वेश्चन में ही कुछ फॉल्ट था, बट आई हैवंट फाइंड एनी बिकॉज आई एम अप्लाइंग ऑल द लॉजिक ना. मतलब मेरे लॉजिक में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है तो बताओ. आई एम जस्ट इंश्योरिंग कि ये होगा बिकॉज दिस हैज टू बी देयर. आई एम आल्सो इंश्योरिंग दैट ये इससे छोटा नहीं हो. आई एम आल्सो इंश्योरिंग कि इसकी वैल्यू 100 हो. द वैल्यूज आई एम टेकिंग दीज, they all have come from using this number. So I don't think कि कुछ मिसिंग है इसमें. ठीक है, चलो एक मिनट में क्वेश्चन देखता हूँ डियर. एक बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन था. हाँ, ये क्वेश्चन है. ये नंबर्स को थोड़ा सा इग्नोर करना. 20 23 लिखा, 24. ये देखिए, ठीक है, इसमें करेक्शन करना है, जस्ट इग्नोर दिस नंबर ऑल्सो, दिस इज मिनिमम। ठीक है, चलो 3 मिनट दे रहा हूँ, चलो सॉल्व करो इसको। हाँ जी, आंसर बन जाना चाहिए अभी तक। ठीक है, चेक करते हैं अभी ना। सो विल हैव 3 circles like this. One is for operations. This number is 78%. Everything is in terms of percentage, right? This is finance, which is 69%, and HR is 87. And it also say that everyone like at least one of these department, or sorry, not they are working in at least one of these departments. So we can say the union is fixed, right? What is this equation, guys? This plus this plus this. What is the equation value? 234, which is nothing but sum of all these 3 numbers, है ना? Since the union is fixed, because this statement is given, we can say that this is always equal to 100. So 2 plus 3 will be equal to 134, right? Now, if I want to maximize for the number of people who like in all 3 departments, so we have to maximize this, we have to minimize this. And at the same time, we have to ensure that this should always be followed. Can I say I should give them different, because it can be equal, no? The moment they are equal, in that case, this is the maximum. Yes or no? ठीक है ना? कितना हो जाएगा ये? 67 आई थिंक, ठीक? सो द राइट आंसर इज 67. ठीक है, ये इग्नोर करें, 67 इसका मैक्सिमम वैल्यू होगा, 69 नहीं होगा। तो बोलोगे सर ऑप्शन तो दिया था 69, ठीक है, चेक कर लेते हैं। पहले मैं 69 को चेक कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, लेट मी चेक 69। यहाँ से भी आंसर हो जाएगा। चलो इसको अगर हम 69 रखते हैं, then can I say these 3 numbers will be 0, right? Let us assume that this is A, B, and C, correct? Can I say this sum of this is nothing but 78? out of which 69 is this. So the value of a plus b कितना होगा बताओ मुझे? 9. ठीक है, अच्छी बात. वैल्यू ऑफ b प्लस c कितना होगा? ये भी 9 हो रहा है. b प्लस c कैसे निकालेंगे? सम ऑफ दिस ना. 18 आ रहा. करेक्ट. So can we take some values here? For example, if I take the value of a to be 0, b to be 9, so यहाँ पे 9 9 आ जाएगा. So one way is 0, this is 9, and this is also 9. Now get the union. अब union निकालो इसका. कितना आएगा union? It's not coming out to be 100, right? Can we make it like this? Take it 0 and take it 18. Is it possible in this case? Because this is the extreme which we can take. How much it is? No, union. I'm taking this as to be 9. A to be 9, B to be 0, and C to be 18. That means I'm taking A is equal to 0, A is equal to 9, B is equal to 0, and C is equal to 18. 96. पहुंचेगा ही नहीं वो 100 पे. And this is the extreme which we can take because the overlapping portion we are taking 0. This is standalone, this is standalone. So the more the values are in standalone or exactly 1, the more the union is. So this is the maximum union we can get if I take 69 here. That is the reason 69 is not the right answer. 67 is the right answer. 67 आप लोगे ना तो राइट आंसर आएगा. ठीक है, कैसे आएगा? इसी को बस मॉडिफाई कर देता हूं. देखो 67 लिख के ये 67 हो गया. करेक्ट. 2 कम हुआ ना, 2 यहाँ पे जोड़ देता हूं मैं. सो इट विल बिकम 11. ये सब 0 कर दे. ठीक है, 2 यहाँ पे जोड़ देता हूं. दिस इज 20 और यहाँ पे कितना आ जाएगा 2. अब जोड़ के देखो यूनियन. नॉट टेक आउट द यूनियन. नाउ इट इज परफेक्टली 100. ठीक. So 67 is the right answer. That is the maximum. चलो ये क्लियर हो गया. अब आते हैं मिनिमम वैल्यू के लिए. What is the minimum value? So for minimum value, I have to minimize this and I have to maximize this. Whenever we have to think about the minimum, think about 0. Can I take it 0 and 134? This is satisfying this equation. But can we take that? No. Why so? Because 1 is only 100. So 2 cannot exceed 100, na? 2 cannot exceed 100. But can it become 100? Can we do like this? Yes, we can do. Is 34 the one of the option? Yes, it is given. So option C becomes the right answer. Straight away, simple. कुछ नहीं करना. I hope I am clear, everyone. सबको समझ में आया ये? ठीक है, चलो. अब मैं इसी सभी यही रन देते हैं. मैं क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा और क्वेश्चन ऐड कर देता हूँ. ठीक है, I'm just adding more questions. I'm adding one more question. We have to find the minimum value as well as the maximum value of percentage of employees. ठीक है, who are working in exactly one department. That means it's a 2-part question. One, we have to find the minimum percentage of employees who are working in exactly one department. At the same time, we also have to find the maximum percentage of employees who can work in the exactly one department. So this term exactly is very, very important. Okay. In this case, can I say exactly one is signifying this area, जिसको मैं x, y, z से लिख रहा हूं. We have to maximize this or we have to minimize this, whatever. ठीक. In the equation format, I do get this equation always. कितना था यार? 234 था ना? Right. Now can I say from at least 1, if I take the difference of this, if I deduct the at least 2, this is actually signifying exactly 1. बताओ सही कर रहा हूं ना? At least 1 में से if you deduct at least 2, then that difference itself will become what? Exactly 1. So we have to minimize this. We have to minimize this. So to minimize, can I say this value should be minimum, this maximum, this value should be minimum, under the condition that this is always, this should always follow. Correct? We know that 1 is nothing but 100. 1 is nothing but 100 always. Right? Because of this. So 100 minus this, if I want to minimize, it's quite obvious now. Something is getting deducted from 100. We have to minimize. And minimum, we have to think about 0. Can we make it 0? Yes, we can make it. By taking this equal to 100. From the previous example wherein we took this to be 100 and this to be 34, 1 to be 100, we can do that. So the answer for this question would be what? 0. I hope all of you are getting it. Yes or no? Right? Now tell me about the maximum number, maximum percentage कितना है? 79. चलो और लोगों को भी थोड़ा टाइम देते हैं, सॉल्व कीजिए. Now we know that this plus this is equal to 134. We want the minimum value of this so that this thing become maximum. Right? 100 minus 2 would be maximum only if at least 2 is minimum. So this ko minimum, isko maximum. I can't take 134 and 0 for sure because this has to be greater than or equal to this. So the only option for to do this is let us distribute 67 to each. Now substitute 100 minus 67. तो ये 33 आ जाए. So 33 is the maximum number of or maximum percentage of people who would be working in exactly one department. बोलिए भाई सबको क्लियर है ना? एवरीवन ठीक है? चलो सेम क्वेश्चन और अपन बनाते हैं. ठीक है? एग्जैक्टली 1 लिखा था ना, एग्जैक्टली 2 कर देता हूं. सेम क्वेश्चन, मिनिमम मैक्सिमम परसेंटेज ऑफ पीपल वर्किंग इन एग्जैक्टली 2 डिपार्टमेंट. 2 minutes.
सर 22 में सर मैक्सिमम वैल्यू 67 है.
अभी जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ उसकी बात करो, एग्जैक्टली 2 का.
नहीं सर 1 वाले का, वो जो पहले आपने कराया था एग्जैक्टली.
हाँ
उसका सर मैक्सिमम
मिनिमम
वैल्यू
तो
60.
नहीं, मिनिमम तो 0 है, मैक्सिमम 33.
ओके.
हाँ जी, हो गया 0 और 66 आई थिंक आंसर होना चाहिए, है ना? चेक करते हैं. So we'll start from the equation that we know that this plus this is given to us as 134. The value of this is equal to 100. This should be always should always follow. And what is exactly 2? Exactly 2 means from at least 2, if I take the difference of all three, this is nothing but exactly 2, right? We have to minimize this. Can we make it 0 from this equation? Yes, we can make it. If we take 67, 67 both as equal, then we can make it 0. So the minimum value would be 0. This is one of the answer. Secondly, if I want to maximize this, then I have to maximize this and minimize this under this. So the possibility is what? I should take 100 because I can't exceed it more than 100. And by default, it would be 34. So in this case, it would be 100 minus 34, which is equal to 66. So this becomes my second answer. I hope now you are getting. अब वो कैसे होगा उसका लोड नहीं लेना है, बिकॉज एवरी टाइम आई हैव शोन यू दैट वो पॉसिबल हो जाएगा फिट होके. ठीक है, आप कर भी सकते हो. Then in which all condition 1 will be 100. Whenever the question says that the entire percentage of people or the entire people like at least one of the department, at least one बोल दिया मतलब what is Roman number 1? It is at least 1 ना. If all are liking at least 1 and it's in terms of percentage, so obviously 1 will become 100%. हाँ, अगर ये नहीं होता तो फिर दूसरा होता. अगर ये नहीं होता, चलो उसी क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व कर लेते हैं ना. अगर ये 1 नहीं होता इक्वल टू 100, so we would have started with this equation that this is equal to 234. अब मुझे बताओ कौन सा क्वेश्चन बनाना है, फिर मैं उसको एक्सप्लेन करके बताऊं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 वाला, ये वाला, इसी को बनाते हैं. ठीक है, चलो दिस इज द इक्वेशन. मैं सब हटा देता हूँ फिर. ठीक है, लेट मी जस्ट रिमूव एवरीथिंग, अदरवाइज इट विल क्रिएट कंफ्यूजन. ये सारे हटा दो. So we have this equation 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 234, and we know that 1 has to be less than equal to 100 because it cannot exceed 100, and has to be greater than equal to what number? It has to be greater than equal to what number? What is the minimum value of 1, or what could be the minimum value of 1? We are solving a case wherein this is not given, है ना? बोलो भाई 87 आएगा ना? इनमें से सबसे बड़ी वैल्यू है वही तो आएगी ना. मैथ्स मत लगाओ, दिमाग लगाओ, कॉमन सेंस. If 87% are liking HR, so how come at least one like करने वाले 87 से कम होंगे? Obviously नहीं होंगे. So this is another condition that one, at least one will range from 87 to 100. Any possibility? ठीक है. Now we want that the minimum value of the employee who like exactly 2 department. Exactly 2 means 2 minus 3. This we want. This we want to minimize. So can we make it equal? Yes, we can make it. We can give. We want to maximize this, so we have to minimize this. ऐसा कर सकते हैं. But can we make it equal? Because as I said that whenever you are asked about minimum, think about 0. Can we make it 0? Yes, we can do ना. We can take 100, we can take 67, we can take 67. कर सकते हैं ना. अभी तो किया था हमने. So in case if we can make it 0, take that example. So again the answer would be 0. What about the maximum value? What about the max value? To maximize this, we have to minimize this and maximize this, or we can say that we have to maximize this, we have to minimize this. ठीक है, इसकी maximum value 100 हो सकती है कि नहीं? Because it can be equal to this. If this is 100, then this will also become 100. Why I'm taking these two to be equal to 100? Because this is the scenario wherein 2 is maximum and this is minimum. Yet the answer would be 66. ठीक है, अब ये मेयर कोइंसिडेंस भी हो सकता है बट मोस्टली सेम ही आएंगे बिकॉज वो पैटर्न बैठ जाएगा ना, बिकॉज आई हैव द रेंज, सो आई विल बी टेकिंग दैट केस वेर इन दिस बिकम मैक्सिमम और मिनिमम। पहले तो वन फिक्स था ना, अब फिक्स नहीं है, तो वन फिक्स वाले में जो आंसर आ रहा है इसमें भी आ सकता है। ठीक है भाई, क्लियर है? सो यूनियन फिक्स है या नहीं है उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, इफ द यूनियन इज फिक्स at least one, the value will always be 100 irrespective of what the question is saying, and if it is not, then it's your choice. But yes, had it been some other case, exactly one वाला अगर लेते तो exactly one minus 2, if you want to maximize, then we would have taken the maximum value of this and we would have taken the minimum value of this. In that case also we would have gone with 100. We have to minimize this now, so we should have taken 67 and 67, which is possible. ठीक है, if 10% like no subject, हाँ 10% like no subject तो क्या होगा, वन की वैल्यू फिक्स हो जाएगी 90, उसमें 100 नहीं होगा, वो फिर 90 रहेगा। चलो हम क्या करते हैं ना, लेट अस सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन दैट, एक मिनट, अरे ये खत्म हो गया यार, रुक जाओ, यहाँ पे आप, let us solve this question. We can create lot of question. 78 ऑपरेशन में थे, 87 HR, 69 I think finance, correct? And this is fixed as 90 because 10% are not liking any. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, this would become what? 234. 1 is 90, so 2 plus 3 would become what? 134. Now suppose the question is we have to find the max value of people who like all three. नहीं, ये तो 234 ही होगा ना, अच्छा sorry आई एम सॉरी, 1 is 90 ना, so this will become 144. ठीक है, now we have to find the maximum value of people who like all three. So here we have to maximize and here we have to minimize. So can we do this way? This is wrong. What did I say? Don't apply just mathematics. This cannot be greater than the minimum among this. 3 has to be less than equal to 69. Yes or no? So we will rectify this and we can say that yes, not 72, but yes, anything less than 72, which is 69, is valid, और यहाँ पे जो दिया है. So in this case, the answer would be equal to 69. So that is what I'm saying. I'm not just applying 100% mathematics. The equation दिया फटाफट बैठा. I'm just by common sense applying the logic that this 3, it's quite obvious that cannot exceed 69. So any number which is exceeding 69, then 69 itself by default become my answer. I hope I'm clear in this, everyone. सिर्फ इतना ध्यान रखना है तो ये मेथड जल्दी जल्दी काम करता है, अदरवाइज क्या होगा, फिर वो लंबे मेथड में जाओ. ठीक है, चलो मिनिमम निकालना है तो वी हैव टू फाइंड द मिनिमम 3. क्या करना चाहिए? For minimum, we have to minimize this and maximize this. What could be the maximum value of 2? It cannot exceed 90, na? Because this is again 90. We have to ensure that this should always be a valid condition. If this is 90, then this is what? How much? Kitna aa jayega? 54. So 54 becomes your minimum value. बोलो भाई, क्लियर है सबको? ठीक है, एग्जैक्टली वन को मुझे मैक्सिमम चाहिए एंड मिनिमम चाहिए. चलो मिनिमम तो 0 ही आ जाएगा, मैक्सिमम चाहिए बताओ. Exactly one maximum in this case. बताओ, अभी तक आ जाना चाहिए आंसर। नहीं 36 तो सॉल्व करते हैं बंदे। Exactly one means what? This we want to maximize. For sure, we have to minimize this and we have to maximize. In fact, इसकी तो value ही fix है ना. This itself means 90 minus this, no? So we have to minimize 2. And the equation we have is 2 plus 3 is equal to 140. Can we do this? बताओ मुझे. Can we do this? नहीं ना? ठीक है. So can we do this? Again, no. The maximum value of 3 is capped, no? So the only way is 69 and this will become what? I think 75. So you've got that value of 2 for which this would be maximum. So it is 90 minus 75, which is equal to 15. So this becomes my answer. आ रहा समझ में सबको? छोटा मोटा गलती हो रहा चलेगा, as I said in the beginning of the session. If you do it on your own again, or if you go through the recording of this again, you'll get everything because I'm not doing anything. The only thing I'm refraining is that applying mathematics 100%. I'm just keeping an eye on the given condition. So under those conditions, I'm putting the numbers. ठीक है भाई, क्लियर है सबको? ठीक है, चलो एग्जैक्टली 2 का बनाओ, सिंपल दोनों निकालो, मिनिमम भी और मैक्सिमम भी. हाँ जी, exactly 2 को मिनिमम करना है. So exactly 2 is 2 minus 3. You have to minimize it. So to minimize it, can we make it 0? And to make it 0, this 2 plus 3, which is nothing but equal to 144, can we make it equal? No, because this cannot exceed 69. So I have no other option but this. So this would be 75 minus 69, which is equal to 6. That becomes the minimum. अब maximum करना है. So we have to minimize this and maximize this. The maximum value which I can take for this is 90. Correspondingly, the minimum value of 3 would be how much? 54, right? So it would be 90 minus 54, whatever comes. 36 ना? ये आपका आंसर होगा. I hope I'm clear everyone. सबको समझ में आया ये? ठीक है, मेथड जिसको जज जाता है वो फिर वो फटाफट बना. ठीक है, थोड़ा भी लग रहा है ना स्लाइड टेस्ट थोड़ा सा लग रहा है कि somewhere you are missing, then I will recommend that you watch the recording again, not immediately but maybe tomorrow, but as soon as possible, so that the things which I am discussing here you just need to take care of that. और कुछ नहीं है. हाँ वही थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करो. मैं 2-4 क्वेश्चन देखता हूँ. एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना, इसके कुछ बहुत लिमिटेड क्वेश्चन होते हैं. जैसे हमने यहाँ पे क्या किया, वी हैव जस्ट टेकन वन क्वेश्चन, वी आर जस्ट क्रिएटिंग मोर एंड मोर क्वेश्चन ऑन, as and when you are saying I'm just creating those questions. ठीक है, चलो आज के लिए इतना काफी है मेरे ख्याल से. नेक्स्ट जो क्लास होगी उसमें मैं बताऊंगा कि अगर दो साइड के इंटरेक्शन वाले वैल्यूज दिए रहते हैं उसके इसमें मैक्सिमम मिनिमम कैसे निकालते हैं. एंड वी विल आल्सो बी डूइंग दिस, मोर देन 2 साइड्स रहेंगे तो मैक्सिमम मिनिमम कैसे करना होगा, एंड मोर देन 4 साइड्स वाले कैसे बनाते हैं. तो विल सी. अगर एवरीथिंग इज नॉट गेट कंप्लीटेड इन नेक्स्ट क्लास, देन नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसको देखेंगे. ठीक, बट डू विजिट दिस वेन डायग्राम वाला जो है ना LRDI में आपको जो दिया हुआ है, इजी और मॉडरेट सेट्स को डेफिनेटली सॉल्व करो. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, अगर आ गया सेट तो सॉल्व करना चाहिए। ठीक, चलिए गाइस, गुड नाइट, काफी लेट हो गए हैं, विल मीट अगेन।